Greetings and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team video, where today I'm going over the Blades of Khaine Kill Team from the Kill Team Salvation box. But before we get into things, thanks goes to Games Workshop providing this to review for free. As always, I aim to be honest, impartial and constructively critical. But yeah, please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of the Blades of Khaine. All of this stuff, I'm going to go through them in depth. Remember, I've got a Discord you can check out in the episode description for free below, an affiliate link at Element Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support. But yeah, this is the Blades of Khaine. This is the new Aeldari Kill Team you can find in the Kill Team Salvation box. So let's get into it. So the Blades of Khaine have an archetype of star because they're so special and unique. They can take the Seek and Destroy archetype along with either security, recon, or infiltration, depending on how many Dire Avengers, Howling Banshees, or Striking Scorpions they have, but I'll touch into that further. So your operatives, you can either select a Dire Avenger Exarch who can either have Shuriken Catapults with fists, Twin Shuriken Catapults with gun butts, or either a Dire Sword or Power Weapon, or a Shimmer Shield or Shuriken Pistol. We'll get into his weapons later. Then you've got the Howling Banshee Exarch, who can either be equipped with Mirror Swords, Shuriken Pistol and Executioner, Shuriken Pistol and Power Weapon, Tri-Skelly and Power Weapon, or Tri-Skelly and Shuriken Pistol. Then you have the Striking Scorpion Exarch, who can have a Shuriken Pistol and Biting Blade, Scorpion's Claw and Chainsword, or Twin Shuriken Pistols with Twin Chainswords. So those are your three leaders. Then you have 7 Blades of Khaine operatives who are either Dire Avengers, Howling Banshees, or Striking Scorpions. You have no other specialists. And once again, for your archetype, you either have security if you have Dire Avengers, recon for Howling Banshees or Striking Scorpions of infiltration. So if you have 2 or more, well, if you have 2 operatives of the same archetype, you get to pick. So let's say you had 3 Howling Banshees and 3 Striking Scorpions. You could pick to either be Seek and Destroy, Recon, or Infiltration. But if you have a majority of one, you either take Seek and Destroy or whoever's in Ascendance, effectively. So you kind of, if you want flexibility in your Tac Ops, you have to plan who you're actually going to take. For your faction Tac Ops, you have Faction Tac Op 1, Aspect Warfare. If a friendly, you reveal this in any reveal step, if a friendly Dire Avenger, Howling Banshee, and Striking Scorpion operative inflict damage on enemy operatives during the same turning point, you score a victory point, and then if you do it again, you get another. It's okay, but you will have to evenly spread out your aspects, but I'm not a fan of this, but it's okay. Then you have Master Techniques. If you use all 5 aspect techniques from an aspect warrior from aspect warriors in any turning point, e.g. all 5 Striking Scorpion ones, you score a victory point. Note, you must actually each use the aspect technique. So like, you must fulfill the condition, not just say I'm using it. And then if you achieve this in any other turning point, you get another victory point. It's only really good if you're running pure Striking Scorpions, but you know. Then you've got Martial Harmony, Blades of Khaine, Faction Tac Op 3. Reveal this in any target reveal step of any turning point. At the end of each turning point, check the following criteria. You only need to meet 2 out of 3. If a friendly Dire Avenger controls an objective marker, friendly Striking Scorpion operative is within red of a friendly operative, and if a friendly Howling Banshee is within red of your opponent's drop zone. At the end of the turning point, if you get 2 or 3 of these conditions, you get a victory point, and if you do it again, you get another. This is amazing. Like, you always take Martial Harmony. You basically only need to take 1 Dire Avenger and then like effectively 2 Banshees, or you know, 2 Striking Scorpions, whatever, and you max this. It's so easy on Open and Into the Dark. Beta Decimate's a bit harder, but my gosh, this is one of the easiest faction Tac Ops ever. The kill team needs it, but basically always go Martial Harmony. For the strategic ploys, you have Eminent Grace. Until the end of the turning point for 1 CP, add black to the movement characteristic of all friendly operatives, and friendly operatives can move around, across, and over other friendly Blades of Khaine operatives and their bases as if they were not there, but you can't finish the move on their bases. So you kind of get fly around your own operatives and +1 movement. Very, very good and very, very powerful. You're probably popping this every turn. Forewarned, until the end of the turning point, each time a shooting attack is made against a ready friendly Blades of Khaine operative, in the roll defense dice step, you can reroll a defense dice, so you get some defense against alpha strikes. Ruthless Poise. Until the end of the turning point, each time a friendly operative fights in combat against an enemy operative that is ready, you can reroll 1 of your attack dice. Then you have Khaine's Vengeance. Until the end of the turning point, each time a friendly operative makes a shooting attack against an enemy operative that isn't ready, in the roll attack dice step, you can reroll 1 of your attack dice. Ruthless Poise is better because it works on operatives that are ready, so those operatives you want to charge ideally, whilst Khaine's Vengeance only works on activated operatives, and it's only shooting, which you don't really have that much of, so I wouldn't really use it. For your tactical ploys, you have Blade Wind. Use this when a friendly operative activates except an Exarch. They can perform 2 fight actions. Then you have Starfall, which is the same thing, but you can perform 2 shoot actions. Then you have Fading Light. When you're activated, you can perform the fallback action for 1 less action point to a minimum of 0. Then you have Contempt. Use this tactical ploy in the roll attack dice type of either a combat in which a friendly Bladed Khaine operative is not the active operative, or a shooting attack is made against them. For that combat or shooting attack, your opponent cannot reroll their attack dice. Note, you use this tactical ploy after seeing the result of your opponent's initial roll, but before rerolls. If your opponent declared use of the command point tactical reroll ploy, it's cancelled and their command points are refunded. So this is incredibly powerful for saving a key operative. Let's say your opponent runs in and shoots you and goes 1 hit and it goes, I've got Relentless. You go, Contempt. No, you don't. Or they go like, I've only got 2 hits. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll my first miss. And you just go, I'm now going to spend Contempt. Very, very powerful. Like this kill team has a wide selection of powerful ploys, but Contempt is very good at keeping your operatives alive against bad rolls from your opponent. Very, very good. Now, the key ability everyone have is Aspect Techniques. So, Aspect Techniques are unique abilities you will find in the following pages available to your operatives. You cannot use more than 1 technique per activation. You cannot use each technique more than once per turning point. If every operative selected for deployment has the same aspect keyword, e.g. striking scorpions, you can use each aspect power twice. It gives you more freedom the more you go mono aspect, but you don't want to go mono aspect. So the Die Avenger Exarch. So he has 9 wounds. All Exarchs have 9 wounds. Everyone has a free up save. All Exarchs have a free up save. I'll get into his weapons in a moment. So abilities. He has defensive tactics, so he doesn't worsen his ballistic skill when he does the Overwatch action. If he takes a Shimmer Shield, he has a 4-up invuln, including everyone within white. And then he can perform 2 shoot actions or 2 fight actions as an Exarch. So remember, he can either take a Shrieking Catapult with fists, then, because his fists are 3-4, right? He punches as hard as a Marine. Then you've got the Shuriken Pistol that can either be combined with a Dire Sword or Power Weapon. The Dire Sword is 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, 4-5, lethal 5 up with rending, whereas the Power Weapon is 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, 4-6, lethal 5 up. Go with the Power Weapon. Then you can also take either the Shimmer Shield. If you take twin Shuriken Catapults, right, you may have noticed the Shuriken Catapult has already lost balance. The twin Shuriken Catapult goes down from hitting on 2s to 3s, and is now also 3-3 instead of 3-4. So they nerfed the Shuriken Catapults for Die Avengers. Really weird, right? And then, yeah, if you take the Shimmer Shield, like, it's fine. It's just really weird his shooting output got nerfed. It's already 3-4. Why is it 3-3? He's not even hitting on 2s. If he was hitting on 2s, 3-3, I could kind of get. But hitting on 3s, 3-4, 3-3 with Relentless is just not great. So I kind of think they don't want people taking the Die Avenger Exarch. You can take him as an interesting melee piece, but you have other Exarchs who do that better. Then you have the Dire Avenger Warrior, who has a Shuriken Catapult, which is 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3-4, no balanced with rending. And he has 8 wounds with a 4-up save, and he has, Overwatch and no penalty. I did not realize until I checked the compendium, but Shuriken Catapults for Die Avengers lost balanced. I have no idea why. I don't know why they nerfed Die Avengers, but it's really bizarre. Like, Die Avengers really need balance back. You just take one. You'll see why they become useful with their Exarch power, like their aspect powers. But I'm confused why Die Avengers have been nerfed. It's very strange. You need one, mainly for your Tac Ops. You would take more if they were slightly better. So for your aspect techniques, you get the Slicing Hurricane. Use this technique during a friendly operative's normal move action. Perform 1 shoot action during that normal move action. You must do so in a location it can be placed, and any remaining increments can be used after. You must select a Shuriken Catapult, Pistol, or Twin Shuriken Catapult for that shooting attack. So you can move, shoot, and then finish your move. Not too bad, but you have free APL, so you kind of don't really need it. You have Death of 1,000 Blades. Use this after a friendly operative performs a shoot action and uses a Shuriken Catapult or Twin Shuriken Catapult. Make another shooting attack using the same weapon against another operative within white of that first target. I think it needs a minor FAQ, but it basically works kind of like Torrent, or like a weird version of Blast. You still have to be a valid target, but it's a nice way to get effectively free shoot actions if you spend the CP to make a Die Avenger shoot twice. So you can shoot once at the target, hit someone who is also a valid target within white, and then shoot again at one of those other targets, or a third target. So it's really good. Then you get Vigilance of the Avenger. Use this when a friendly Die Avenger performs a shoot action. Until the end of that shooting attack, your Shuriken Catapult or other weapon gets no cover, and you must make a shooting attack against someone in cover. It's okay. Then you got Unstinging Immovable. Use this in the roll defense dice step of a friendly Die Avenger. If you retain any critical saves and discard one or more failed saves, you can select one of your failed saves to be normal instead, which is okay, but incredibly situational. And then you have Raging Heat of the Dying Flame. Use this technique when a friendly Die Avenger operative that is injured or has its APL negatively modified. Until the start of that activation, you ignore all of those, and it cannot be injured. Really, really good there, but it's very situational. So as I said, the main thing you want to be doing is Death of 1,000 Blades and maybe Vigilance at the Hunter, but mainly Death of 1,000 Blades. You get some use out of the Slicing Hurricane. Let's say you need to move on to objective. You can move, Slicing Hurricane, shoot, finish your move and cap the objective. So it's not bad there, but Death of 1,000 Blades, really good. Then you get the Howling Banshee Exarch. She has 9 wounds and a 3-up save. Remember, normal aspects have a 4-up save. So she has the Banshee Mask, so each time this operative performs a fight action, not when she is fought, she worsens the weapon skill of targets by 1. Just the weapon skill, and it's not cumulative with being injured. As an Exarch, she can do 2 fights or 2 shoots. So she can either have a Shuriken Pistol and an Executioner or Power Weapon. And then you've got the Tri-Skelly. So the Executioner is 5 attacks hitting on 2s, free 7, lethal 5 up. So actually really good at killing 7 wound hordes. Then you've got the Mirror Swords, who are 5 attacks hitting on 2s, 4, 6, lethal 5 up Relentless, which is your general auto pick because of the Relentless. Then you've got the Power Weapon, and then you've got the Tri-Skelly, which at melee is 6 attacks hitting on 2s, free 4, reap 2 with rending. So potentially good into hordes. Whereas at shooting, it's 4 attacks hitting on 3s, 2 free, range red, torrent free, rending, torrent blue. So it's okay. For my roster, I've built one with Mirror Swords, Executioner, and Power Weapon. No, Executioner and Shuriken Pistol, and then a Tri-Skelly and Power Weapon, just for flexibility's sake. She's really good into elites, but she can oddly blend hordes surprisingly well, and she has a 3-up save, so she can actually tank a lot of stuff. Then you have the Howling Banshee Aspect Warrior, who has 8 wounds and a 4-up save. She has a Power Weapon and Shuriken Pistol. Shuriken Pistol, is 4 attacks in on 3s, 3-4, range red rending, and a Power Weapon, which is 4 attacks, not 5, hitting on 3s, 4-6, lethal 5 up, and has the Banshee Mask rule. Main problem you may already be aware of, your main melee Aspect Warrior is 4 attacks instead of 5, which is really weird, especially as you only have 8 operatives total. Really needs to be 5 attacks, right? If you don't want them being they just need to be 5 attacks. Just make them 5 attacks. And I think Banshees should be able to have inbuilt bound, but I guess they remove that for other reasons, but they really need to be 5 attacks. They're good, but 5 attacks makes them just feel better as an Aspect Warrior and as a dedicated melee operative in a team with basically no specialists. For the Howling Banshee aspect techniques, so you have the Woe. Use this during a friendly Howling Banshee's activation after it performs a charged action. Incapacitate any operatives in combat and is no longer in engagement range with any enemy operatives. Perform a free charge action using any remaining increments of movement from the first charge. This aspect technique allows the operative to perform 2 charge actions to do so. So effectively, let's say you charge 4 inches and you've got the bounding leap up. Charge 4 inches, kill someone, you can now do a free 5-inch charge and then fight again. Very, very powerful, especially for chaining around. Really, really good. Then you've got Rain of Tears. Use this aspect technique in the resolve hit step of combat after a friendly Howling Banshee operative strikes with a critical hit. Immediately perform a free dash or full up back action up to blue as though it can fly, and any remaining dice are discarded. Do so even if that operative has performed that during the activation or prevented during a dash or fall back, e.g. the charge action. So you can kind of use this to catapult yourself like you can with Harlequins. Strike someone with a crit, and then even if they die, you can either fly or go onto an objective. Really powerful. Acrobatic. Use this technique when a friendly Howling Banshee performs a move action. well, performs an action in which it moves, it can use the fly rule, but it cannot move more than 3 white. So the weirdest thing, if you're charging, you can't use all your extra bonus for charge. Like, they really should have removed the movement limitation. I understand they were kind of worried about fly, but fly isn't bad on a single operative. It's only when it's kill team wide. So it's still useful. You just have to remember you can't move more than 6 inches when you use it. Then you have the Scream That Steals. Use this aspect technique at the start of the resolve successful hit step of combat involving a Howling Banshee. If you retain any successful hits, resolve 1 hit before the attacker. It must be used to parry, so you can effectively parry out someone who potentially could kill you. Really, really good. The Shriek That Kills. Use this when it performs a shoot action. Until the end of that shooting attack, the operative is equipped with and must use the following ranged weapon. So it's 6 attacks, hitting on freeze, 1, 2, range red, indirect, no cover, torrent, and stun. So it's okay if you can hit like multiple operatives or someone you just want to slow down. It's a nice tool. I would rarely use it. As I said, the main cool ones are the Scream That Steals when you're charged, Acrobatic, and then the Woe. And even Reign of Tears. You've got a lot of mobility tools, which is good because Banshees are known for being very acrobatic. Then you have the Striking Scorpion Exarch, same profile as the other Exarch. He has Mandy Blasters, so each time he performs a fight action, he does 2 mortal wounds at the start of combat, so not if he is charged and fought. He can have the Shuriken Pistol, which hits on freeze, not 2s for an Exarch. Twin Shuriken Pistols if he takes the Twin Chainswords, which is 4 attacks in on 4s with Relentless and Rending, which is just weird. You know, I guess pistols are too dangerous on melee operatives. He can take the Biting Blade, which is 5 attacks hitting on 2s, 5/6 with Rending, which is actually pretty good for tankier 12 or 10 wound opponents, or 12 and 11 wound really. Then you've got Twin Chainswords, which are 5 attacks hitting on 2s, 4/5 Relentless Rending, which is once again your main take because of reliability. And then your Scorpion's Claw and Chainsword, which is 5 attacks hitting on 2s, 4/6 Brutal, Lethal 5-up, which is a nice selection. Firstly, for my roster, I have built all 3 options. I have used the 2 you get in the Salvation box, and then my Metal Striking Scorpion with Exarch, Power Claw, and Chainsword. So you've got uses for both, like all 3. Generally go Twin Chainswords. I like the Biting Blade for anyone with 11 or 12 wounds, because if you're striking them with your Mandy Blasters, you're killing them in 2 hits, and you're not relying on crits. The Scorpion's Claw and Chainsword are just good when you need Brutal. But he's a very good operative overall. Then you've got the Striking Scorpion Warrior, who has a 4-up save for some reason, even though Striking Scorpions are historically known for having a 3-up save. Ever since they've come out, that is their thing. Anyway, they have 4 attacks with the Scorpion Chainsword, which is 4 attacks hitting on freeze, 4/5 Rending, and Mandy Blasters as well. They have the same problem as the Howling Banshees. Like, they need to be a 3-up armor save and then have 5 attacks. Like, they minimum need 5 attacks. Them having a 3-up save is just a lore thing. It really annoys me as an Eldar player that they have lost their 3-up save. Doesn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, we'll move on, but they should be 5 attacks. 5 attacks and a 3-up save and they'd be perfect. At the moment, you get a bad roll and you don't have any rerolls, you are screwed. And it doesn't make sense, once again, for your main melee operatives who don't have any specialists to be just okay at melee. They should be 5 attacks. For your Striking Scorpion aspect techniques, you have Patient, Stalk, Sudden Blow. Use this when a friendly Striking Scorpion with a Conceal Order performs a normal move. During that action, the operative can and must move within engagement range of 1 or more enemy operatives, but you cannot finish your move there. One enemy operative you move through suffers D3 plus 2 mortal wounds, so a really good use of chip damage, but it's only when you do a normal move. Strike and Fade. Use this after a friendly Striking Scorpion with an engage order incapacitates an enemy operative in combat and is now more than blue from enemy operatives. Change that operative to Conceal and you can immediately perform a free dash action, even if you've afforded a charge action that turn. Really, really good, especially if you've scored Rob and Ransack. Scorpion's Eye. Use this when a friendly Striking Scorpion performs a shoot action. Until the end of the shooting attack, the operative can, with their any Shuriken Pistol, gains the indirect special rule, and that operative must make a shooting attack against an operative in cover. So you have some nice 6-inch indirect attacks. Then you have Merciless Strike. Use this at the start of a resolve hit step of a fight action performed by a friendly Striking Scorpion operative. If you retained any critical hits until the end of that operative, your melee weapons gain the stun rule. It's okay, but not great. And then you have One with the Gloom. Use this when a friendly Striking Scorpion moves within black of light or heavy for the terrain feature until the start of its next activation. While the operative has a Conceal Order, you count as having Super Conceal. So outside of Merciless Strikes, so good. Like, they have the best aspect techniques. As I said, Strike and Fade rewards you doing ballsy charges, as well as when you score Rob and Ransack. Just really, really good overall. Lots of ways to do chip damage and safely move up the board. It's great. Then you have your equipment. So you have Weaponized Panoply for 1 equipment point. Select a Dire Avenger Fists or Gumbutts and they get +1 attack because they're dangerous like that. Rune of Prophecy, which you're capped to 1 of. Once per battle, after determining initiative, you can add or subtract 1 from the result. Note you can technically go above 6 because they didn't say there are any limits. So you could, if you both roll 6, you can turn that into a 7. So very powerful, you always take. Rune of Foresight. For 1 equipment point, you can only take this once. When you reveal this equipment, select one of your opponent's strategic or tactical ploys. The first time your opponent uses that ploy, you gain 1 command point. So really good, effectively a free CP. Rune of Shielding, once per game. You just give it to a single operative, they gain just a scratch. So they can, you put it on your aspect, you put on your Exarch, and you just make them an insane tank. Really, really good. Then you've got Wraithbone Talisman. It's just free equipment points for a free command point reroll. Shadow Weave Grenade for a smoke grenade, which is really useful for this kill team. I guess they realized they kind of needed it against shooting. And then a Plasma Grenade, which is 4 free. Well, 3/4, hitting on 4s, free attacks. Oh, but then you have the Plasma Grenade, which is 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3/4, range red, blast white, indirect limited. Just some nice indirect firepower. Great on like a Flyby, Howling Banshee, or a Striking Scorpion. Really good. And then once again, you get all the narrative rules that you do with every other kill team if you wanted to, you know, play some more campaigns with this kill team for your own narrative flair. So overall, the Blades of Khaine, they're fun, right? They're weird, but fun. The biggest problem is, before we get into the aspect stuff, it's if you buy the Kill Team Salvation box, you only get 10 Striking Scorpions, so you need to buy Howling Banshees and Dire Avengers. I have a lot of all these aspects, so it's fine for me. I have 6 Howling Banshees on my roster and stuff. They're a fun kill team. I think the problem is they're slightly weaker. They're still good, but you have to remember you're only 8 operatives, so 8 activations. Everyone's free APL, but unlike Harlequins, you don't have invons, and more importantly, all your operatives aren't 5 attacks, they're 4 attacks, so your dedicated melee operatives outside of your Exarch are just okay in melee. Like they're good against non-melee operatives, but against actual melee operatives, they get outfought, which is really weird, especially as they're Aspect Warriors dedicated to melee. And the Dire Avengers got nerfed. Why did Dire Avengers lose balanced and the Twin Shuriken Catapult got nerfed? Really strange. Outside of that, they're a very thematic kill team. They're very reliable at scoring Tac Ops and technically the mission. You have to be very smart with how you build your kill team for each game and opponent. Their biggest problem is teams like Galapox and Chaos Cult due to the high wound pool and their better melee operatives, as well as dedicated elites. Elites are actually really tough for this kill team because they don't have enough shooting to chip away. You have to fight them, which is kind of what elites want, right? So a very strange result there, but they're very fun and thematic, and it's okay kill teams having some bad matchups. As I said, I think Howling Banshees just need to be 5 attacks. You can make them maybe, you know, built-in climbing gear. I think that would be okay. And then for Dire Avengers, they just need balance back, and Striking Scorpions need to be a 3-up save or at least 5 attacks. But they're very fun to play, and once you get them going, they're kind of crazy, especially if your opponent doesn't know what you can do, and your aspect powers really keep the kill team going. I'm just complaining a lot because I'm a huge Elder fan, and I'm like, it hurts me seeing these changes because it's like, it's more gameplay than narrative, and I'm like, no, shouldn't be like that. If you're running a kill team, I basically have 5 normal Striking Scorpions on my roster, 5 normal Howling Banshees, 2 Dire Avengers, and then I have 3 Howling Banshee Exarchs, 3 Striking Scorpion Exarchs. Then I have technically 2 Dire Avenger Exarchs, the double gun, and then just one of the power weapons because I could. But you'll never run the power weapon. It just gives me an excuse to model one. And you probably will never use the Dire Avenger Exarch, but it's just there in case. You could argue taking more Dire Avengers would help, but security isn't great at the moment, and Dire Avenger shooting is pretty bad. Like, it's not bad, but it's just not where it should be for a kill team with no long-range firepower. But they're very fun to play, and I would recommend picking them up. As an Elder fan, ignoring all the changes that violate the law, I'm very happy. Like, it's a very good kill team. I just want some minor tweaks, and then they're perfect. They're still, like, they're on the same power level as Scouts, I feel. They're not weak, but they're not broken. They're just good, right? And they just need some few minor tweaks, but they're a very fun kill team to play and thematic. They definitely feel like Aspect Warriors as a team. And I think because they don't have any specialists, they just need those minor buffs to make them feel more competitive, unless the whole, like every other kill team is going to be brought down to their level. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Remember, I have like article versions and reviews for the other kill team, as well as Salvation and Beta Decima on my channel and on my blog, which I'll link in the episode description below. But please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of the Blades of Khaine. Do you like them? Are you hyped? Do you think maybe they're not as good as they were? Or do you think they're still really strong? Let me know. I'll be interested to hear. And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out for in the episode description below, and a Link Element Games where you can buy all of these aspects, you know, at 15 to 25% discount while at no additional cost to yourself and helping to support the channel. And I'll just shout out my patrons. So if you want, I've got a Patreon you can check out as well. So yeah, let me shout out my patrons. So for my adepts of the crit, I have Tom, Sam, Nikki Sticks, Nick, Mr. Meatwad, Kenzie, John Thomas, Dad of Golden's, Ben. And for the veterans of the crit, I have Sam Just. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. It helps support the channel. But yeah, all my aspects are at battle ready stage. I've gone with like dark color schemes to like represent, they're all from Oathway, because they're all from Oathway, so they're going to have like black face plates. And for the bounties, I've gone for like a 3rd, 4th edition color scheme where they're dark grey like Jane Zar was in the old Codex, the old Metal Phoenix Lord. But I'm having a lot of fun with these. They're on my paint list once I get my other kill teams done, and I can't wait to get them finished. I've had a lot of fun playing them. They do have a lot of flaws, but it's good flaws, like not bad flaws. Like my inner Eldar player is just like, the Scorpion should be a 3-up save. Melee aspect should be 5 attacks. Like, but overall, they're still fun to play. You know, it's just me being very nitpicky as a huge Eldar fan. But remember, no matter how many aspect techniques you bedazzle your opponent with, there's always a chance to win, as long as you can roll a crit.